For this lesson, we're taking a look at what is known as the distributive property of multiplication over addition, or simply the distributive property. This is a very important property. It gets used a lot in algebra, so it's very important that you understand how this property works. A quick example. Let's say I start out with this expression. So I'm going to multiply 6 times the sum of 10 plus 7. With the distributive property, we can work this problem by multiplying 6 times each of the terms inside the parentheses. So I can take 6 times 10 and add that to 6 times 7. Now before, what I would do is I would add the 10 plus the 7, which would give me 17. And then I'd have to multiply that times 6. So then I got to think, okay, 6 times 7, 42, carry the 4, add that to the 6, 102. By using the distributive property, and multiplying times each of the terms inside the parentheses, what I get is I take 6 times 10 plus 6 times 7. Well, 6 times 10 is 60, 6 times 7 is 42, 60 and 40 is 100, plus the 2, 102. So a lot of times it will actually make the problems simpler, a little bit easier to break down and solve. Another example we could look at: 5 times 20 plus 3. Of course, I could solve this by saying 23 times 5. Do the addition first, then take it times 5. Well, the 5 times 3 gives me 15. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. 115. Another way I could do this, though, is by using that distributive property again and multiplying 5 times each of the terms inside the parentheses. So I take 5 times 20 plus 5 times 3. 5 times 20 is 100, plus 15, 115. So we arrive at the same answer. It's just two different ways of solving the problem. Let's take a look at what happens when we have variables involved. Let's take a look at this example. So I have 3 times the sum of x plus 7 plus 8. I'm going to multiply that 3 times each of these terms inside the parentheses. I can't do anything with this yet. I have to simplify this down because the multiplication right here has to be done first, then I can do the addition. So if I expand that out to what I'm going to multiply, I'm going to have 3 times x plus 3 times 7 plus 8. Well, 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 8. Well, the 21 and the 8 should be simple enough to solve right here. That gives me 3x plus 29. And that's where I have to stop. There's nothing else I can do. I don't have like terms because this is an x. This doesn't have an x on the term. So these are not like terms. So my final answer is right here, 3x plus 29. Let's take a look at one last example. Two times the sum of n plus 4 plus 6. Again, I use the distributive property. 2 times n plus 2 times 4. And I still have plus 6 here at the end. Well, 2 times n gives me 2n. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 6. I go ahead and add the 8 and the 6 now. 2n plus 14. And that again is my final answer. This term has an n on it right here. This doesn't. It's just a constant. I can't combine those together. So my final answer is 2n plus 14. That's it. I'm done. I walk away. So those are some examples of how you work the distributive property.